So, when we say Sanatana Dharma, we are talking about that dimension of life which does not change, which is fundamental to our existence.
Eternal.
It's fundamental, it is the basis of our existence. Well, how you dress, what's your profession, how do you deal with your family, how do you deal with your relationships, society, this is all transient. Every generation it's different, from person to person it's different. But the laws that govern my life also govern your life and every other life, whether it's a worm, insect, bird, animal or plant, all of them are ruled by that law, which is Sanatana Dharma. The fundamental laws which govern the existence. This must be understood clearly. When we talk about laws, we are not talking about penal code imposed by human beings upon each other for control and whatever, some semblance of sanity in the society. Because that law has to change from generation to generation. You see, there is so much fight going on about change this law, change that law. Every generation is fighting for it always. That's a different thing because that's a transactional law. When we talk about Sanatana Dharma, we are not talking about a transactional dharma, we are talking about an existential dharma. First of all, let us understand the word dharma. Dharma means the law. Dharma does not mean religion. In this culture, we don't know what is religion, we don't have such things. We are only looking at what are the underlying laws for my life to happen in the best possible way, because we understand unless you stick to the law, your life cannot happen well. Because a law is not an imposition, a law is the basis, it's the foundation of the existence. If you figure this out well, then your life happens effortlessly because you know the laws or you're in tune with the laws. If you don't know, for no reason you suffer, simply. So Sanatana Dharma is that dimension. Does it belong to a Hindu or somebody else or an Indian person or some other person? That's not the point. This is what governs the existence. No culture has looked at it with such profoundness as we have in this culture. So because of that pride, we may say, this is Hindu Sanatana Dharma. But we are limiting the possibility of Sanatana Dharma by adding the word Hindu to it. If you understand, the word Hindu is a geographical identity. The land that lies between Himalayas and Hindu Sagara is Hindu. In that sense, if you're saying it, it's all right for pride. But it's not all right, it's not correct, because Sanatana Dharma applies to every life, wherever they may be born or unborn. It applies even to unborn life and the life that is dead also. So Sanatana Dharma talks about how to handle the unborn, how to handle the born, how to handle the grown-up, how to handle different stages of life and how to handle the dead, all dimensions of life. But Smriti is something that every generation should reinvent or amendments need to happen. This is the only culture which has thought of things like this, that we understand social transactions have to evolve. Evolution does not necessarily mean we're doing something better than the previous generation. It is just that because situations are changing, we're evolving so that we fit into those situations. So situational transactions always have to evolve and change. So this culture allowed that. How you ate 100 years ago, today we can debate and say that's not the way we want to eat because my work habits have changed. When I was ploughing the land, I was eating that much of whatever. Today I'm just directing a movie, so I will only this much of this. So there is no law to say you have to eat like this, you have to fast like this, you have to do this. Because these laws must be constantly amended. As India's constitution can be amended according to the changes needed for a particular generation, similarly, but even in the constitution there are a few fundamental rights and other things that you don't touch. You cannot call that Sanatana Dharma, but in a way it is. For the nation, it is. There are a few fundamental rights which are absolute, sacrosanct, you cannot touch it. But everything else is available for amendments and improvements and knockdown of certain laws, all these things. So, this is a very profound way of seeing life. But so now where we are, wherever we are, whether you are Indian, Hindu, non-Hindu, whatever you are, Sanatana Dharma applies to everybody because these are the laws which guide the fundamental process of life. But Smritis are different. Your Smriti and my Smriti may be different. It is different, actually. What is true in Andhra Pradesh is not true in Tamil Nadu, what is true in Tamil Nadu is not true in Kerala, so close by. What is true in this western Tamil Nadu is not true in southern Tamil Nadu. Because this is by memory. Our parents, our culture, what they did, either we are doing the same thing or in reaction we are doing an opposite thing. But this is a constantly changing process, not only from generation to generation, in our own life. Every few years our smritis are changing. From our memory we are changing, isn't it? Many aspects of our life. But Shruti doesn't change because this is not set by you, this is set by creation. So Sanatana Dharma means this, what governs your life, you must understand that. Once you understand that, you live a profound and beautiful life. So we didn't have to talk about… See, in this culture, nobody is talking about morality, commandments, what you should do, what you should not do, moral stuff, if you do this, you will go to heaven, if you do that, you will go to hell. All this is not there because we inculcated this dimension. If you are in tune with the laws, you don't need punishment, you don't need reward. If you understand the traffic law rules and you're driving accordingly, you don't need a policeman, isn't it? So this was a culture without a police.